Have you ever dreamed of having your own slice of rural paradise? We're talking think 3+ acres, maybe a garden, maybe some chickens, but still being close enough to Charlottesville to enjoy its amazing restaurants, culture, and healthcare. Guess what? It is totally possible, and I'm going to show you how and where. Stick around because we are driving and diving into some affordable rural living 45 minutes from Charlottesville. And trust me, you do not want to miss some of these prices. So first and foremost, why, Pam? Why are we talking about this? Why Charlottesville? Why Acreage? Because so many people love this area. They love what it has and has to offer. They love close proximity, but they want space. Whether they don't like people, which I totally get sometimes, whether they want to make it a family compound, whatever it is. But why Charlottesville? Well, besides being absolutely gorgeous, it's got the perfect mix of small town charm and big city perks. Now we're talking about a world-class healthcare at UVA, award-winning wineries any direction you go, and a food scene that your taste buds are going to dance to. But here's the thing. Charlottesville itself can be and is pricey. That is not a hidden secret, a hidden gem. That is a known fact. As a realtor in the area, I know honestly we run about 10% over the national average on housing. That is why so many people are looking just outside of the city, where you can get more land, more privacy, and more bang for your buck. And the best part, most of the time you're still going to be close enough to enjoy everything Charlottesville has to offer. This idea was actually requested by one of you, my fabulous viewers. And fun story, I actually had a client last year who moved here from DC. They wanted space for their kids to run around, but didn't want to give up their date nights at downtown Charlottesville restaurants. Guess what? They found the perfect spot up in Greene County, and now they're living their best life. Now, speaking of Greene County, let's talk about some of the areas that we're going to explore if you're looking for that perfect rural property over 3 acres. And these are just general guidelines. Over 3 acres, under $300,000. Yes, it's doable. Don't go anywhere. We're going to actually pop in on a few, not every county I mentioned, because we'd be gone for 2 days straight driving from one to the other. But stick close because we're going to see some beautiful properties with some amazing price points. All right, let's break it down. So our bar is set. I am looking for 3+ acres, trying for 45 minutes-ish to Charlottesville. Here are the areas that you need to know about where you could find some of these amazing properties. So first, northwest of Charlottesville. Think Greene County. You've got mountain views, affordable land, and honestly, it's just a quick drive into the Charlottesville area. But it's growing fast, so you better get in while you can, because a lot of projects and a lot of farms and acreage are being sold, unfortunately. Southwest of Charlottesville, okay, that's more the Nelson County area. We're talking wine and beer country, folks. If you love the Blue Ridge Parkway and a good craft brew, then maybe that should be the area we should be concentrating on for you. So, moving on, east of Charlottesville. Well, now we're getting into Louisa. Great for families and positioned really, really nicely between Charlottesville and Richmond. And southeast of Charlottesville, Buckingham County. More secluded, more super affordable, and perfect if you're looking for peace and quiet. Plus, you have really great access directly to the river. And finally, looking to going west and over the mountain to Augusta County. Coming up, I'm going to break down what you can expect for your budget in these areas. Spoiler alert, there are some amazing deals out there, but you have to be ready to act and you have to know what you're getting into for sure. So let's talk about what to expect for your budget and stop in on some of these areas. Okay, so let's talk about numbers. Now, before we start popping into the few that I wanted to show you today, I want to make sure that you understand none of these are my listings. And at this moment, if you were to call me up and be like, I want that, they are totally active and available and ready for their new owners. So first, we have stopped here in Buckingham. Overall, Fluvanna and Buckingham counties are where you're going to find some real steals. The one behind me is actually a 4-bedroom, 1 bath. Get this, start thinking about the price. It is sitting on just shy of 14 acres. And it's available and currently listed at... No, I'm not going to tell you that fast. So I want to tell you a little bit more about the house and show you a little bit more about it. So here we go for the house. So the first one we've pulled up to is this absolutely adorable, original 1938 bungalow in Buckingham. Zoned agriculture. It is 4 bedrooms and 1 full bath. It sits on just shy of 14 acres. And it has actually been on the market for over a few months, and it has had a price reduction. In looking at it, it is pretty much original, and it's going to be teetering on whether or not you want to restore the original charm, or if you want to just demolish and make it your own, make something new. You could do, there's so many options because of the original 1938 construction. It does have a metal roof, but there's a lot of things that are going to be really hard to overcome. But the fact that it sits on pristine, untouched, predominantly fully forested, just shy of 14 acres, and out in the middle of God's country. So the 14 acres is predominantly all still wooded, and this house is being sold as is, where is. So in essence, the owner, this was actually his original homestead when he was a child, and he is the last man standing out of all the siblings, so he is now having to part with it because he is not here locally. But again, beautiful country, beautiful area, and what a steal. Again, you have original aspects, absolutely, but you're also getting just shy of 14 acres for... That's probably what you're waiting for. Did you guess what the price was? Okay, here's what it is. The current price for this home is $249,000. That's it. $249,000. If you wanted to make it your own, you could, but there's a lot of love that is going to be needed because it's an original house, a cottage that has been here and seen and raised. It's got some things that have been replaced. The siding has been predominantly replaced, but you can see where there's a lot of wood rot. I did step inside. I'm not going to take us inside. It's, yeah, I just would not feel comfortable with all of us going. So, all right, let's see what else Pam can pull out of her sleeve. Here we go. This super sweet home, easy access, as I mentioned. Most of the acreage is going to be wooded, and it was recently surveyed, so it's very easy to walk and see what it is that you're getting. This super cute house is a fixer-upper. We're going to walk around the exterior here. Super sweet. Has a metal roof. It is definitely in need of love. Next up, well, what about Albemarle? Albemarle County completely surrounds the city of Charlottesville, and people are often just wanting to get some land here. Well, guess what I found? I'm not going to tell you the price yet, but the super cute little house behind me is. So this super cute little cottage is actually available. Again, not my listing. This is a 1940 original, and then there has been an addition put on. Now, 6 acres in Albemarle County. Guess what? It is under $250,000. What? Okay. I totally admit, for one, it's a 1940 home. So you're going to have that age thing. But can you hear it? The house is actually wedged between 29 North, which is right behind me. And when I turn you around, that is a railroad track that you see up above the house. So again, that's the backyard. The property actually runs along the railroad and between 29. So I know that is why it has not sold. But this super cute house has 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and again, sits on 6.33 of an acre. It actually is livable. It's not a tear down, and this would all be the property. This is obviously on a septic tank and a well. The other thing I'm going to say, I believe this backs up to oh, there we go. Well, we couldn't have planned that any better now, could we? All right, I am walking down here and trying to see what is behind this house. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So, again, house is right behind me. And I will say, it is spring right now, and everything is busting out. We've got the witch's broom. We've got forsythia and jonquils and daffodils all busting out. This house does have an actual, I don't know if it's considered a basement or a root cellar. But look what is behind. It is actually water directly behind the house, which would be lovely sitting out here enjoying. But that's a really unusual 6 acres to try and utilize. I'm sure the property line goes to the water's edge on one side or the other. And then I'm sure it goes up to the easement for 29. So it has been updated. And basement square footage is approximately just shy of 500 square feet. Now this sweet cottage is actually also, the square footage is just shy of 1,000 square feet. So super cute, but your 6 acres where it is zoned actually resident, which means you would be limited on what you can do with it. This is the side. And then there's the basement entrance. And again, like I said, you are sited between the water, 29, and the railroad. So is acreage in Albemarle County available? Yes. This is the cheapest I could find. And did you guess the price? Currently, it is listed at active at $240,000. So again, that would be for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath cottage tucked out here in Albemarle County between the traffic and the railroad. But you have lovely water behind you to mask both sounds. But wait, there's more. Right now, I have driven, and I will be fully honest with you, I've been on the road for an hour. This one is actually located in Augusta County. So is it within our 3+ acres, within 45 of Charlottesville? No. But by the time you see this thing is going to be gone anyways. It hasn't been on the market very long, and it's going to go. This cutie patootie behind me, we are in Augusta. It is one of the huge values. If you want to take a guess, leave a comment below, because I think it's going to blow your mind. This one has over 9 acres, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little brick rancher, with an addition. It has a partial basement, and the addition is on a crawl space. Built 1960. Oh, now here's the catcher on this one. This one is owned by the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I am sure they have priced it to move, and I'm sure they've priced it so there's going to be bidding. I don't know much more about it. It's not my listing, but I'm sure it will be gone quickly. But I want to show you what some potentials are. So this was a huge one in Augusta County. Would Charlottesville be your primary go-to to, do groceries and all that? No, not even close. You would find things so much closer. But if you had specialty needs, or you wanted to go to Charlottesville, whatever it was, then you could do that. But it's going to take you at least an hour to get to Charlottesville. And there's no ways around it. It's not like there's a quick shortcut. That was the most direct routes, and actually even on interstates between 64 and 81. So what do you think? What do you think the price is? What do you think? All right, the price with this little beauty, super cutie patootie, with over 9 acres, $250,000. What? I mean, I actually wish that I love this kind of stuff. I love helping my clients find this kind of stuff. And that's why you have to reach out and give me a call. But it would not be for me personally. But I love helping my clients find their dream next adventure. Okay, let's see what else we can find out about it. So, let's talk benefits. I want you to imagine this. Waking up to the sound of birds, not traffic. Not having to lock up everything you own to the maximum. Having space for a garden, maybe some chickens, maybe a goat, or even an alpaca for that matter. I had a friend who was convinced she was born to raise alpacas, and I'm not sure what all that was about. But anyways, or honeybees, housing bees and spinning your own honey. Hello, huge Huge. Those are all things you're not going to be doing in, a planned development in Albemarle County, Charlottesville, anything like that. You're going to need that space and that agriculture area that will help you to make those dreams come true. And you know what else? The stars at night. Now, someone who I love very, very dearly, he's very much into looking at the stars and the moons and everything. And I'm telling you, there's nothing to compare. Yes, there are areas that you can go without so much light pollution in and around Charlottesville. But if you are out in Buckingham, Augusta, Gordonsville, Madison, Greene, I am telling you, hands down, the stars are unreal. I grew up in this area, and let me tell you, there is something absolutely magical about living in the country, about enjoying county life. Honestly, one of my clients even started a small vineyard on their property. How cool is that? Not trying to be a king family, not trying to make the next greatest, bestest. No, they want their third act to be something they love, and that's what they're doing. So it's not always about the money, but it's also not all sunshine and rainbows. So let's talk about the challenges so you know what you're getting into. Because I'm not going to lie to you. That is just not who I am, because every place has their owner and every home has their owner and every place has a purpose. Nothing is going to be across the board a perfect match. Okay, so real talk. Rural living isn't for everyone. Got that? It is not for me. It is not on my bucket list. Never was on my bucket list. And I grew up, my grandparents owned a working farm. So I had plenty of hands-on experience with it. And it is not for me to be rural living with any kind of acreage. I'm one of those people that my imagination makes up way too many backstories. But anyways, some typical things that you might have to deal with having and enjoying rural living. For one, spotty internet. Probably the biggest thing and the biggest issue. Now, that has been trying to increase. They're putting up towers. Fiber internet is going out into the rural areas of Virginia. They've been working on that for a couple of years. And actually, I just passed where they're putting it currently out into this area. It's going to be a longer commute. Of course, that's sort of the point. You don't want to be around people and you want to have some room to breathe. But if you're still working, instead of a 15-minute commute in our area, it could be a 45-minute, I don't know, maybe an hour if you get caught up into traffic for a morning commute. Also, you need to think about questionable cellular. Not a given, not an automatic. Some areas are going to have it. Some areas are not. Some will do better with certain carriers and some with others. And also you need to think about the non-domestic animals. You need to think about deer eating your garden, foxes eating your chickens, or snakes eating your chicken eggs. Or we also have black bears, which are going to be coming out. Actually, I'm surprised I have not seen any in our out and about today. All of those are going to be, this is their living first. So you're going to have those in and around your home. Also, in general, you need to think that the more rural an area is, the less diverse it's going to be. So you're going to have less diverse options, less diverse cultures, less diverse political beliefs, you're gonna want to make sure that that is part of your consideration. And if you're worried about being too far from healthcare, don't. The UVA Health and Centera systems have outlying primary care providers throughout the area. Now, for all the rest of your healthcare, Charlottesville, again, is just going to be a short drive away, 45 minutes or less-ish after what we've looked at today. Next up, let's talk about how we can find the perfect property for you. So here's my advice. I popped back in my car, getting ready to drive home. I've got a little over an hour to get back to my office, and I actually have to go out and show properties in a couple of hours. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you're looking for the perfect property, you need to call me, email me, text me. Let that be the first step, and then let me help you figure out where your perfect next property is going to be. Not about me. This is truly what works best for you, whether it's for you physically, financially, mental, whatever it is. Not about me. So that's where I come in. I've lived pretty much my whole life in this area, and I know all the hidden gems. If you're serious about finding your dream property, text, email, or call me, and let's make it happen. Whether you're retiring, whether you're relocating, or just looking for a change or a challenge, this, what we've seen today, could be your new normal. And now, let's also talk about why now is the time to act. So here's the deal. Rural properties are selling fast because it's not always about 50, 100, 200 acres. Rural property, many of my clients are asking for property, honestly, between 1 and 3 acres. Because with the property, as we've talked about, comes expense and comes work. And with more people working remotely, the demand for land and space in general has just skyrocketed, especially now that fiber internet is being brought into the rural areas, now that Skylink provides an alternative solution to other less effective internets. All of those are coming into place or are in place, and they're going. I had a client who waited a week to make an offer because they wanted to make sure it was the right fit, which again, I applaud. I am never going to push you into anything, not my money. If you need a day, if you need 2 days, if you need 10 days. But in this case, I knew this property was special. And my clients admitted it was everything they wanted and it was under budget. But they waited over a week to make the offer. And by the time we submitted the offer, they were in the process of ratifying, meaning they had gone under contract. So don't let that be you. Your dream property is out there, and I would love to help you find it. Hands down, I would absolutely adore it. That's what I do. So anyways, let's wrap this up so you can get back to what you're doing and I can get back to the office. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell so that you don't miss anything that I come out with. Again, your Charlottesville journey starts here. So let's chat. Reach out to me. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos, especially if it's a rainy day or something. Put that stuff up on TV and just watch the whole thing. I go deep dive into a lot of the counties that we visited today, that we talked about today. I go into neighborhoods. I talk about schools. I talk about pretty much everything. Because again, I've grown up here, and as a realtor, It's my privilege to be able to provide this kind of information. If there's anything else that you would like to know about, leave a comment below. Like I said, today's video was brought to you by one of you fabulous viewers. And I'm sorry it took me so long, but the honest truth is every time I went to make the video, the properties were all gone, so I couldn't show you anything. So again, just shows you how popular rural living is becoming now that services are in place. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video, and you have a great day.